Hello all, welcome to the channel all about economic board games. Today I am bringing you a run through of a Manager. We've got the designers here, brought to us by these guys at the bottom, and this is an older classic, folks. It's a 3 to 6 player range game. Says it takes about 60 minutes to 2 hours, and this is on the lower end of the complexity. There's just me as usual. If you're after an overview, check out the video I brought you guys last week. Now, we are managing directors of companies. I've got 3 companies today set up, the minimum player number. We've got shares in each of these 3 companies. You've got the 1s and the 5s. They've got 4 shares to begin with. You've got these player sort of, you're going to be keeping your bids on there, should we say, your price of your goods. And we've got this stock market here with fluctuating prices for the 3 companies. We've got money down here, we've got machines here, and we are pretty much ready to kick off. We, as managing directors, are trying to make the most money for our companies by the means of capital with these machines, or through the money in our hand, and the money in our hand, and the shares we will acquire in ours and other people's companies and sell them off at the end at whatever value they are. And the whole combination of your value of your machines, your money, and your shares sold will, whatever that total is, whoever has the most is the winner. So I will try my best just being here playing 3 players. Okay, so to kick off, the first thing we are doing is we are setting our prices in secret. So you've got these here. So this is the pricing phase, and simultaneously everyone's going to set a price between 100, you can see the inner one, and up to 20,000. Now this is the absolute trickiest part of the game, but it's fascinating. I absolutely love this bit. So let's just say then yellows have gone secretly with 5,500. This is the price they want to sell their products in the market. These guys have secretly gone for 5,700. Bear with me. These guys have gone for 7,000. Now, none of these players, especially on the first round, definitely, as you play the game more with people you know, you can kind of expect where you're going to go. But the first round, you have no idea what prices the people are going to go for. And I was a bit nervous about playing this game, thinking, how's it going to work? You know, people are going to be way off. But let me show you, and typically after a few plays, you roughly gauge where the prices are going for this product, and it's a generic product you're all competing over and selling. So you reveal. Now, whoever has the lowest price has sold their goods. £5,500 they have sold this good for. Great. And they are going to get a chance to get £5,500, but they have to take off their costs. So this is their factory. Currently their wage bill is 5,000. So they're only making £500 profit. We will take it though. Now, as you get a chance to get these machines later on in the game, you can see it's going to reduce your labor bill, should we say, your labor cost. So you can see you get a chance then to potentially bid lower and outbid people to get the sales in. So at the moment, our labor cost is still 5,000. So we're not quite there yet for paying. We look at the next bid, or the next sale price is 5,700. Now, if there is a difference of more than £1,000 between this player and the next bid, then this player does not get a chance to participate, because they have overpriced their products, and the market's not interested. They can just buy them here. So up to the range of 6,500, if it's beyond that, which it isn't, so these guys can participate, and you will see the importance of that in a minute. You then go to the next player, and again, it's 1,000 difference. So this player, as long as their price is, up to 6,700, they can participate. It isn't. They've overpriced their products. It's 7,000. So they are not participating. And you will see the consequences of that on the share prices in a moment. So another scenario, let's just say these guys had priced at 6,700. Well, let me just go with 6,000, shall we? Okay, so we have got a price. Well, let me knock it down even further. So we've got 6,600. So they are within range. But let's assume this player had several factories, and they had a bit more of a competitive edge in the market, and their wage was 3,000. And let's just hypothetically said they went for a ludicrous price, 2,500. You can undercut your actual labour cost, meaning you're owing the bank £500. But let's just say this was the scenario. These guys, the next best price, are not within that 1,000 range, so they will not be able to participate. And even though these are within 1,000 range of these, as long as one player, or when one player is out of that range, every other player after that is out of the participation, so you can undercut people. I wouldn't recommend it, but it's definitely a strategy you may see every now and then. So let's go back to, what was it, 5,000 odds. So you are now entering the sales phase. So you're going to receive money for your goods minus the cost of your wages. So these guys, it was what, 5,500. So minus the 5,000, they're going to get $500. Boom, they've got some money. These guys are going to get 5,700. So they've made more money because they were competitive still, and their wage bill is going to be 5,000. Where were we with this player, weren't we? So they've actually gained more money, £700. There we go, because they took a little bit. They were in a close competitive price. These guys, however, what did we say they were on? They were on 7 something, weren't they? They've not been able to participate, but because they weren't participating, they don't have to pay the wages, so you're not going to get negatively impacted by that as well. So these guys have paid the wages, these guys have paid, and that is the money from the sales fires. Now we go to phase 3, the quotations. So we are going to change the stock market prices based on the sales we've made. So this company, they went in at a bargain price, but the shareholders aren't that impressed. Their revenues, they've only made 500. So the yellows are going to stay the same. There is no movement. Now the next one, so it would be the greens in this case, will go up 1 because they were next in order. So their price, boom, 1. Now, if reds have been within that 1,000 range and they had, say, a sales price of 5,900, they are the second furthest down the line, so they would have gone up 2. The next player, if they were legitimately met the requirements, would go up 3, and 3 is the max. Now, if you weren't participating, like the red players in this case, because they overpriced, they've made no sales, and your shareholders are like, oh, you're not selling the product. So your share price goes down 1. Boom, you have been impacted by, going for ludicrous prices for your product. We then head over to the machines and stock phase. So we have, let me just check this one again. Yeah, you get a chance then, start with the lowest product price to either, you can do any combination of these. You can buy a machine here at a cost of, what was it, 5,000. So we've only got 500 quid at the moment, so you're going to need £5,000 to place a machine down. And you can see that as you go throughout the game, that is going to give you a reduced labour cost. And you need to place these down at some point, even though you may be thinking, I've paid 5,000 and I'm only getting a 500 reduction. That's 10 turns. The game is going to be ended by the first person to have filled all 10 of these. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the game, because you are going to get the value back you paid for these. So it's kind of like a little saving scheme, isn't it? You've invested in your company in what's it called, machinery. So this at the end of the game, you got 10 here, 2, 4, yep, 10 times the 5,000 is actually 50,000 in capital. You're going to score and add on to any money in your hand, and you're going to sell these shares. So even though you triggered the game, and if this player's actually made an absolute fortune on the stock market, they may beat you even though they didn't finish the game. So during this phase 4, you can buy machinery if you've got the money to do so. You can buy and sell as many shares as you want at the current prices on the market. So let's start with yellow then. We've got £500. We've got 4 shares in yellow. We clearly, at the moment, cannot afford some machinery. So we are thinking, right, we're priced at 1,000 for yellow. Do we want to sell all 4? Even if we did, we've only made 4,000 plus the 500. We can't afford any machinery. Are we going to buy someone else's? Maybe we want to sort of diversify a bit. We kind of gauge that reds are kind of getting comfortable setting higher prices. Maybe we're going to sell one of our yellows for 1,000 and buy a green for 1,000. So we've got some stake in the green company now. And that's fine. That's all we've done. Next player who, and everyone can participate in this, even if you hadn't successfully, been within that 1,000 limit. And we then, once everyone's done their buying and selling and machines and what have you, we literally go back around to the pricing phase. Everyone sets their prices. Now let's give you one more example. So these guys have gone for that. These guys have gone all the way up for, 9,600. Well, no, let's go 8,600. There we go. And these guys are thinking, you know what? I went a bit low last time. Everyone was kind of around that 7-8 mark. So I'm going to go here. Boom, you reveal. These guys are the cheapest again, which, remember, is kind of great for being, assured that you're going to sell something, but your stock price is going to remain the same. Whereas these guys, unknowingly have gone slightly higher. So they're going to equally sell because they're within that 1,000 range and they're getting 7,700, and they will have a 1 increase on their share price. These guys are still within range of the next player. It would have been, what did we say, 8,700. They're 8,600. So they are equally this time going to sell their product, but they will have a bump of 2 on the stock price, which is very much needed because they went down 1 last time. So just a quick refresh then. We've played all our prices. We now receive money for the goods minus our wages. So 7,500 minus the 5,000. Now we are getting some real profits, folks. We're getting 2,500 for the bank. These guys are getting 2,700 because they got no machinery. These guys are getting 3,600 ace, and they'll have all these share prices, which is the next phase of affecting these stock quotations. So to remind you, these guys are neutral because they were the cheapest price. These are going at 1, and these guys are going at 1, 2. So you can see that fluctuation. We now go into the machines and stock. Again, these guys, and they're like, okay, I've got a bit more money now. I want to buy shares in red or whatever it is, or buy the machinery to reduce your labor cost. And literally, that is another round done. You carry on going till one player has completed all the machinery, triggers the game end. You then figure out the value of everyone's machines at 5,000 each, add it on to your money you've accrued, and then you turn in any shares you have at the current price. Boom, most money overall is the winner of manager. Enjoy, folks.